I stopped by Steve Holcomb Pro Auto Custom Interiors just as they were finishing up another one out of the John Jinnings collection. A very cool 1970 Mercury Cougar I think y'all are going to like. Let me get the camera turned around and we'll take a quick look at it. Steve?
Scotty?
How are you, brother?
I'm wore out. How you doing?
I know, it's been a long, I'd say a day, but this really started like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, through all the Thanksgiving and trying to get everything done and employees getting sick. But it's good. God's good, no matter what happens.
Yeah, I was in here and I said, when can you get this car done? You got frustrated with me. You said, I'll have it done next week. I said, good, by Christmas. You said, no, I'll have it done next week. I was like, good, by Christmas.
Yeah, and the next week come in and people call in sick. And I said, well, I guess I ain't getting it done.
No leather here, ran out of leather. Yeah. I had John on the phone saying, oh, I don't think it's going to be this week. I said, I told you Christmas, John, Christmas. But it's done.
It's done. It looks good. I think John will be tickled with it. Did a lot of extra little work, of course. John wanted a dark blue leather,
right.
So we put a dark blue and then did a bright blue stitch to match the exterior paint.
Right.
So I thought it was pretty cool.
It is cool.
And then done a little extra, we've done a lot of modification on the dash. And then behind the instrument cluster, we went ahead and used black in there on both sides and then put a piece of metal, polished aluminum all the way across there to break it up a little bit. Because he already had a steering column that was black. He's got his stripe down the hood that's black, some other things, so it accented it in a little bit of black and give it a little bit of detail.
Yeah.
The steering wheel's black with a blue stitch in it. So everything turned out pretty cool looking.
No, I like the gauges that he chose because they look kind of, modern, but yet could have fit in there. They're not real digital or crazy or anything like that. I love the modern grab handles that Tim put in the console. I think that's really cool. I think that's an awesome spot for the Pro Auto emblem right up there in front. I like how you made that panel with the switches going across it. I mean, it kind of gave it that race car street machine kind of a feel, but it's finished. It's not like, half butt done. It's finished. So I like that. I like the interior. I love that trim stuff, that honeycomb trim stuff you used in the door and all. I've never seen that before.
No, John's got a first on that and a first on that new style LED lighting, so hopefully he'll be happy with being the first off on that stuff.
What about the headliner material? I like that too. That's really unique.
It's got a blue and a dark blue, like a mixed material, and we just put a factory headliner in because John's so tall.
Right.
And those cars don't have a lot of room, so we fixed that and put him an original style headliner in there and did the deck lid on the trunk the same way, used all the matching. And then if you notice on the deck lid, we did that back there and then used the leather around that with the honeycomb speaker grill look in there. I thought it looked something really cool looking.
Tray on the back, it looks good. It matches the doors. You put a little bit in between the seats there too. No, there again, Pro Auto, they know where to put the little trinkets and the cool stuff, and so I think it turned out cool.
Yeah, well, on the leather, it's all the same color leather except we have a height of it perforated. So, it's got a little bit of different dimension in the seats. So, a little different textured look. So, it brings out, like the modern cars. They all got a little bit of
well, I like, too, that you have, like, 2 or 3 different types of accents in that seat. Like you got bars and you got some perforated and you have some stuff that's stitched up on angles and stuff. And I like all that kind of mix of design in that seat because it's not too much going on, but it gives it just enough of a modern touch, enough of a custom touch to it. And it all goes together. Of course, it all flows really good together. So, no, I think John's going to be really happy with it.
I think notice how nice and neat those pleats are. Garrett does an excellent job. So he done most of all the sewing up to all the seats and stuff like that, and got them looking really, really nice. The whole crew did a really good job on it, and we just stay so busy. Time flies by so fast. I don't even realize how long we have some of these things. Sometimes it's just crazy.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's not purposely done to hold people up. But if you've ever been out to Steve's, when I first started coming out here 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, a long time ago,
15 years ago,
we had one building and we would have 3 or 4 cars in it.
Yeah.
And then you started putting some cars in the home garage. So I would have to come out and check that. And then you built the garage downstairs. So then we ended up starting to store cars there.
Yeah.
And then the garage over here, the metal building, it got finished and air conditioned. Also, guess what? Now it's full of cars. And you have a crew of 7 or 8 people that work. 9. That all show up every day. They're good guys. They're not the type to get a paycheck and lay out for 2 weeks.
They all working.
And so I know y'all are doing the best you can, and people show up. They just want your work, and it takes as long as it takes.
Yeah, in most shops, one or two, maybe three people working at it, and they may have a year and a half waiting list just to get in there. One thing about us, as soon as we have an opening, you're in line. You can get in there and get your car in, but it may take you a year to get it back.
That's right.
It's just
well, and I tell people too, because they get this conception that okay, if I drop the car off in July, it's going to take a year, but there'll be about 3 months there that he's not going to get started on it. So I'm going to wait till September to drop it off.
Then it'll be the next September.
But they don't understand the cycle's the same. It doesn't matter when you drop it off. The cycle, you have to get in line to get finished, and none of this is like you go to the head of the line.
All right.
You have big builders that you have to deal with that they do go to the head of the line. No sense in lying about that.
No.
But when it comes to your everyday people that are trying to get nice interiors done, all those people, you try to keep them in order of the way they came in, and nobody gets favorites.
No.
It'd be hard to do because everybody thinks Steve's their best friend. That's the other thing out on the street. I love that Steve. I love that Steve. and I look at him like, Steve loves you too, I'm sure. But everybody thinks Steve's their best friend, and he'll pull miracles for him. You are. Well, you are my best friend, so I'm good with that. But you try to appease them, you try to get the thing done, but people just need to understand perfection doesn't come quick. And when you have a car like this Cougar, this thing should have been done 2 weeks ago, but then it just kept fighting you. And as a matter of fact, when I showed up today, you were threatening you were going to have to pull the old interior out. You said to be here at 1. I got here at 20 to 1, and you're like, if this doesn't work, Scotty, we got to yank the whole interior out. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
But it gets down to the end, right? Yeah. It worked before.
Right.
It just didn't work then.
Yeah.
Luckily, we didn't have to take the whole interior.
Right. Just happened to be a bad switch, so that's good.
I think y'all killed it, though. I think John's going to be happy with it. I tell people a little bit about the car. It's a 70 Mercury Cougar Eliminator. It's got a supercharged Roush 5-liter in it. I don't know how many horsepower that's turning out, but it's a John Jinnings car. If it's not top-notch yet, it will be when it gets back to the house. Yeah. And this one he's building to drive, so he tells me we're going to cruise this one up at Pigeon Forge at the Rod Run, so we'll see. I hope so. It's a good-looking car.
Yeah, he can't wait to get it back, do a little bit of touch-up here and there on it, and then, make a good driver, like you said.
So hopefully this spring we'll have it up there at the Rod Run. We'll be able to drive it around.
Oh, yeah.
Steve, Merry Christmas. You and the boys. I think you killed another one.
Scotty, appreciate it as always. Love you, brother.
I love you too. Thank you. So there you go, from Steve Holcomb, Pro Auto Custom Interiors, in the John Jinnings collection. A very cool 1970 Mercury Cougar. Hope you all have enjoyed it. See ya! Make sure you subscribe to this channel and visit ScottieDTV.com for an easy way to search the hundreds of videos I have posted. Either click the link in the description or the one at the end of this video.